Okay.
You ready?
Yeah. As long as, I mean, the mic is here, but stand right here.
We're live, we're ready? All right. So the first thing I'm going to talk about today is how to get in state for your meeting, for your listing appointment. So I want everybody to just take inventory of how they're feeling right now. Just take a minute to close your eyes, just like 5 seconds. What's your internal state like? Okay, go ahead. Okay, you've acknowledged that. Now, everybody stand up. Everybody stand up. Take out your hands. Breathe a couple times. Just breathe. And now say, I'm going to get this listing. I'm going to influence these people to the action that I want them to take. And I'm a bad mofo.
Hell yeah.
All right, now let's go ahead and have a seat. And now take inventory again of how you feel right now. Right? I mean, I see a lot of smiles on your faces, right? Our physiology is different, our breath is different. So before we go to any listing appointment, before we're trying to get anybody to influence anybody to the action we want them to take, we want to get ourselves in state. We want to put it out to the universe that we're going to get this listing, that we're going to influence them, that we're going to be able to overcome any objection that they might have. And I'm telling you, this little thing is the difference. I really did, because you go in there like a weak worm at the dust, you're going to get squashed. Right. You go in there with some power, like, you know what's up, like, this is my list and I'm here to take it. You're going to get it. They're going to feel that transition of power, that transition of influence, and then generally have the idea or the desire to help them, to serve them, and they'll feel it. So I just wanted to start with that. I really go through that kind of mantra every time before I go to a listing, and it really helps. So 6 seller listing objections and how to overcome them. As anybody who's been on a listing presentation here? You have. Anybody else? You've been on a listing presentation. Did you get the listing? Yeah. Okay, good. Obviously, you've been on some. Yes. Okay. Anybody been on a listing presentation they didn't get? Okay. Okay. Let's start with you since you're a little newer. What happened? Tell me about what happened.
It was just, she already had signed a contract with another realtor,
Okay.
and that realtor put like a penalty for like $1,000 if they break that contract. So I'm gonna wait until the contract is over. It was like 2 months from that time we were there. But when I follow up with her, then all of a sudden I found out that she went with somebody else that was like charging her way than what I was.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So if they've already got a contract with somebody else, that's a tough one to overcome. Really difficult. I mean, ethically, we're not even supposed to be pitching those people.
Yeah, I didn't know. Until
Yeah.
I got there. She came with the contract. I'm like, what's this? So it cut me out apart.
Remind me when I get to that, because that's in my presentation. On the penalties, when we get the listing, I'll tell you what I do. And it's something different than anybody else does. And it really helps people from ever canceling. And if they do cancel, I still get paid. So. Yeah, it's an ethical thing, but she didn't know. No, I don't mean that. $1,000. Oh, you can put whatever you want. Yeah, you definitely can put whatever you want. Tell me about the one that you didn't get.
It was my first week in real estate.
Okay.
I was going hard after some FISBOs, and I came in and I didn't learn to dance yet. And yeah, I came in too strong with a price that I had in my mind based off of the data that I had. And he was going off of COVID numbers, and another listing agent told him he can get 585. I told him somewhere around 565. He didn't like my price, went with the other guy.
Okay. So what'd you learn from that experience?
I think that I could have coached him a little better and showed him what I thought, and had more data to back it up, because when I went there, I kind of was not necessarily empty-handed, but I didn't have all the tools necessary to come in there and win the situation.
I'm going to tell you the secret that I use that really makes a difference, because I use the data, but there's another secret that I use that really makes a difference. How do I get to the next one here? Okay, that one. Okay. Okay, so some of them, they want to work with a more of an experienced agent. Some of you guys are new in here. Okay, that might be a good seller objection. So one of the things, I got a listing one time right here in Lee Vista. And I wasn't a new agent, but I was going to get to mega agent at Keller Williams who had like a ton of listings. And they said they wanted to go with a more experienced agent. And one of the objections I used there was, well, they're a team and they have a ton of people. I only have 4 listings. I'm going to be available for you. Pick up your phone right now, dial the number, see if they answer. They didn't answer. I said, when you call me, I'm going to answer. And I'm going to be here every day. You're going to have my experience, not the teams, not their assistant, not their transaction coordinator. You're going to have me. That worked. I got the deal. Right. So, yeah. And then some people, I mean, you can find a rebuttal to everything. You just don't want to be argumentative. I mean, that's the key. So many times you're like, but this or but that. And so I want to ask questions a lot of times. Why is that important to you? Where you have to go? What do you have to do? And there's always something that you can use. They want to work with a more locally known brokerage. You know, I would say to that, where do you get your mechanic? Where do you get your car service? Where do you go to the dentist? And what I'm trying to do is there's a lot of national brands out there, but it's that mechanic that works for that national brand. It's that dentist that works for Greenberg. It's not the company, right? It's not Keller Williams. It's not HC. Shoot, it's not even Lifestyle. It's me that's going to give you the best value, the best service to get your house sold for the most money. So that one's an easy one to beat because they can easily see that. Let's go to the next one. I have an agent already. That one, my first question is going to be, have you signed any paperwork? Okay, can I see it? And just sometimes they will, sometimes they won't. That's a tough one. I mean, you're already late to the dance. I mean, this person has already got a date to the prom. It's, you know, they've already committed. So I like to ask questions. Questions are the key to everything. And Tony Robbins says, your quality of your life is based on the questions that you ask. So ask better questions, have a better life. Why are you not using them if you already have an agent? And they're going to tell you exactly why. Oh, I want to interview more people. I didn't like this. I didn't like that. I'm trying to get a lower commission. They're going to tell you everything you need to know to sell them. So ask questions. Have you signed the paperwork already? Right? If you haven't, well, then that's great because you can sign mine today. We can get started. I got to sign in the trunk of my car. Okay. Is it a family member? This one's huge because a lot of people say, oh, my friend, my cousin, my relative, my brother. And I love that one. I was like, listen, are they new in the business? It's like, it's so hard to work with family because if it doesn't work out, it's going to be super awkward at Thanksgiving dinner. And that's a response that I get. But you know that it's true, right? You really do. And if you don't like me, you can fire me. You never have to see me again. And it's easy. If you go with your aunt, man, you're going to hear about it from your mom for years. So let's not go there. I love that one. That one's an easy one to overcome too. I have an agent that wants to list for more. So this is question. I don't even really give a statement until I know all the facts. I'm going to understand their motive. Why do you want to sell? They're going to say, you know, give me a reason why somebody might want to sell.
To get a bigger house.
Okay. Give me another reason why somebody might want to sell. They're moving where? Why? Okay. How quick do you need to be there? 3 months. Okay. What's going to happen if you don't get there in 3 months? You're still leaving. Are you going to be paying 2 mortgages? Exactly. Okay. Give me another objection why somebody might want to sell.
It's too big. I want to downsize.
Okay. What are your monthly expenses?
Way too much.
Okay.
I could probably get past, 1 or 2 bedrooms, not a 5-bedroom house.
Right.
The kids are all gone.
Okay. All right. So really what I'm doing here is I'm bringing them to the pain. of what it's gonna be if they don't do what they're set out to do,
Yeah.
and what it's gonna cost them. You know, somebody else give me one more. Death in the family, right? I was looking for that one. That's the one I'm looking for, because now I can really bring them to the pain. My mom's sick, my cousin's got cancer, somebody died, something tragic that you can commiserate with. This is an opportunity to give empathy, to connect and bond. We're social creatures. And what we want to do is connect with these people, show them that you care and understand their pain. And you want to poke it just a little bit, right? To understand where it is, just so we can solve it for them. So why do you want to sell? What's your time frame? What's stopping you with this other agent that wants to list for more? How come you haven't listed with them yet? What's a good reason why they haven't listed?
No repairs in the house have been made yet.
Okay, do you have a contractor?
Do I have one?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, how come you haven't called them?
You know what? Haven't put together the money yet for it.
Okay. Well, if you work with me, I can cover all those costs for you. And I'll manage that guy, make sure it gets done, and we have a list of people that can get that work done for you. I mean, if you're ready to go now.
Okay.
Okay, right? Okay, let's go. And I'll explain how I do that, right? I just raise the commission. I mean, we've done that. How much did we spend on what's her name's house? The one. Done that a lot. We've done that. $25,000 we spent of our own money. Right? So I'm gonna get that back. I'm gonna write the contract so that I get it back. I'm gonna get a return on my money. I mean, you don't get what you deserve, you get what you negotiate. Let's see. And how did they come up with that value?
You know what? I'm not even sure.
You don't know.
Zillow,
Okay.
it's estimate.
Okay. So what do you think the value is? Where did you come up with that value? Okay, and so we're gonna come prepared. We're gonna have Zillow, we're gonna have Realtor, we're gonna have RPR, we're gonna have our own. There's another one. Yeah, we're gonna have a bunch of them that are gonna prove the value. And it's so easy to find your value online today. Don't think that they don't already have it. What you need to do is have all the things they have plus some stuff. So how did they come up with their value? I'm asking the right questions. An other agent will take less commission. Who here shops at Walmart? Who buys their clothes from Walmart? Right? I mean, you can get a cheap agent. I mean, I know guys that will put it on the MLS for 1%. They're not going to answer the phone calls. They're not going to show the stuff. They're not going to do flyers. They're not going to do drones. It's cut rate level service. So do you believe you get what you pay for? Absolutely. You know what? I have 10 references right now that I'm going to send you that people will rave about my service. They're going to say that I got them more than they expected. So, and for that, I have a standard rate of what I charge. You have a doctor? Yeah, you have a doctor? Who has a good doctor they like? You do. You ask him to cut his fees every time you go see him?
Never.
Never. You even talk to your doctor about fees?
No.
No. Right? Does he provide a level of service that you appreciate? Yeah, that's exactly what I'm going to do for you today. Wow. So, references, quality versus discount. I think I just got that. If I get both sides, I can do 5%. I mean, I'm willing to go down to 4.5% usually, but I usually say 5%. If somebody says, oh, I'm doing a buy and a sell, I'll say, that's great. When you purchase your new home, I'll give you a discount if you do 2 deals with me. I don't give it to the front side.
Right.
Only when I get that second commission is when I'll do it. Right. Other agents are willing to take less commission. Yeah, no problem. I'll do it for 5%. What I'll do is I'll take 3% for me because that's what I get. And then I'll put the co-listing agreement as 2% if you're ready to go today. Easy, strong. I don't even give them time to think about it. They don't even understand what that means. And then boom. And then I push the paper in front of them. I hand them the pen. Go ahead and sign here. We'll get started. And when you come with confidence, when you come with brevity and influence, people recognize that in you. Like, oh, this dude knows his shit. I'm going to go ahead with him. And even if you don't have that, pretend you do. Who's your hero? Be that person. Sit in your car, listen to whatever music gets you pumped up, say your affirmations, make your move. tell yourself that you're bad, ask for the influence to affect them properly, and you'll receive it. I really think that's a huge, huge thing. Seller wants to sell it way over market. That one is a tough one. It really is, because, you know, we got one right now. They're probably $1 million overvalued. $1 million. And maybe even a little more. And I got them a real good deal. And sometimes I'll take that deal because one, I want the leads off the sign, because that's where I get the most of my leads, is off a sign, off of listings. And then usually I can influence people to lower their price over time, you know, by 10% at least. You know, the national average is about 10% lower than the listing price over history. Maybe not right now, maybe not the past couple of years, but that's usually where we're at.
I'll say also a lot of times we have the chance for the market to give us an opinion, because we have an opinion, they have an opinion, the market ultimately decides. So now we can work with the market to see where we need to be.
That's accurate. What I do here is I'm really good at selling properties somewhere between 2 and 10% overvalue, because I think we can affect an appraisal to that matter, right? It's hard to sell something 20% overvalue and get an appraisal. I mean, everybody's looking at the same data we are, but we can push it. We can push it. We can push it. So I don't mind listing it high and then trying to take the right contract that will close. And I'll tell this to my seller. I'll be like, you know, we're not going to go with a FHA loan on this deal. Probably not going to try to get an SBA. What we're looking for is somebody that has a lot of money down, that has a relationship with the bank, somebody that has coming from New York, New Jersey, they got half down, they've already got a mortgage. Their agent has already got them pre-approved, not pre-qualified, pre-approved. All they're looking for is a contract and an appraisal. You know, I don't know if you guys know this, but there are different types of appraisal that a bank will order. If it's an FHA, they know if it's an FHA appraisal. If it's a conventional, it's a different type of appraisal. If they have a bank that they've got a depository relationship with, they might not even need an appraisal. They'll just do a pencil search to make sure that it's not, you know, a fraud deal or anything. So understanding which deal to take really will determine how easy it is to close that deal. And I go through that exercise with my seller too. You know, William said, oh, go back one more. William said, let the market decide. I can affect what Zillow has on the market. I can put a property on there. I can price it high, I can price it low. In 10 minutes, the value has changed. I'll do that exercise with them right on the computer, right on your phone. You could do it. I can manipulate Zillow in a neighborhood with one post. And then I always try a third-party story. So you guys probably all have third-party stories. If you don't have one, make one up, right? Or use someone else's of how this happened because of that. And with my references, a lot of times I can give them a true third-party story, especially in this past market. John Young Parkway, shoot, we sold that for $300,000 more than we listed it for. What's the one out in Christmas? We sold Michelle. Yeah, Michelle Edwards. We sold way overvalued. And it's really how you field the calls. It's how you accept an offer. You know, you put a house on the market. I'm not going to take the first offer, especially in this type of market. If it's priced at $325, it's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, and re-entrepreneur with a pool. How fast is that going to sell? It's going to sell in 24 hours. So let's wait a week. Let's field all the offers. Let's highest and best. Let's counter and counter and counter and counter and counter until we find the one that we want. And then when we find the one that we want, then we can take it. 1, I can sell it for the most, and 2, I know it's going to close. And so I think it's, you know, even talking right now, I can feel the confidence that I have to know that I can get the job done. So when you're doing a listing presentation, I want you to have the same confidence, right? Practice with a friend, beat each other up, right? Give them every objection you can think of. Practice your objection beaters. And if you don't have the answer to a question, say, hey, listen, Mr. Seller, I don't have the answer. But you know what I do? I have a team of about 50 agents and people in our sphere that can answer that question, help me overcome everything that we need to. So, let's see what we got next here. Okay, they don't want to pay a commission. I want to sell it myself. Okay, so the first thing I do when they say I don't want to pay a commission, it's like, well, if I brought you a buyer, would you pay me 3%? And what do you think they're gonna say? They're gonna say yes. So you've already cut it down to 3%. That's the only gap you have to overcome now. You're not at 6% anymore. So now all you have to do is show the value that you're gonna provide. It's like, okay, do you have a set of contracts that you're gonna use? Oh, this is a for sale by owner. Do you have a flyer? Have a website?
Sign.
Oh, you have a sign. Okay. Are you on Zillow? Are you on Realtor? I mean, are you on the MLS?
No,
You're not. Okay. How many calls have you gotten?
you know what, I've gotten a bunch. It's a lot of realtors though.
Okay. Yeah, we're sharks, man. That's what we do. If I were to ask you right now to go in your phone and to show me every single one of the people that called you, could you do it?
Yeah,
You could. Okay, go ahead and do that. Right? Because they can't. I'm the reason why I say that is because I can't. And that's why we instilled some of the systems that we have in place where we have an automated phone number that gets answered by a listing service that captures every single buyer's information. I'm never going to let a buyer for your house slip through the wings. Every single time, doesn't matter the time of day, gets answered. And soon as it does gets answered, an automatic text message with the property website and the information gets sent to them. So because of that, I can sell that for more than my commission. I'm always trying to bring more value. And if you look at my references, you can see that my clients all say that I'm worth more than they charged me, or than more than I charge them. And I think that's a huge, huge statement, because if you can prove the value that you bring, then now it's a no-brainer. I mean, if I was going to make you more money than you were going to pay me, and I was going to handle it, I mean, would you do this today? When they say yes, I pull out my listing agreement, I sign it to them, sign here. Go ahead. I mean, you've been on listing agreements with me. Listen, like ultimately, when you get good at it, they don't have any objections. Maybe for sale by owners, you know, but if you build enough rapport and you have that strength to move forward, they're gonna lay down for you. They're just gonna sign that contract. I would ask questions again. So getting the most money is important to you, right?
You know what? Yeah, it is.
It is.
Sure is.
So hiring a professional that has a proven track record is a great way to do that. Would you agree? And so, you know, I ask a lot of questions. Do you have a number that you would like to get? I love this
550.
question. 550.
That's good.
Right. So let's do the math real quick. That's like $16,500. If I could get you $16,500 more than your net, would you go ahead and list with me today?
Of course.
Okay, sign here. That's right. I'm trying to close them at every corner if they're that resistant. I'm gonna say, you know, I'm gonna remove all the work from you, all the details. We're gonna come in here and stage your house, and we don't have to bring in furniture anymore. You don't even have to really clean up your house anymore. We have a service that edits everything out of there. It takes about a week, and we can make your house look so good. The paperwork, the contract to closing, the inspections, how to negotiate inspections, how to work with the appraiser, right? Because it's hard to get things to appraise today. You know, one of the things that we do is we lock the appraiser out of the house. We make them meet us at the door so we can give them our own BPA. And half of the time, what you'll notice is that a BPA will be attached to the appraisal. And guess what guess what the appraisal comes back at? The contract price. I mean, there's only been a couple times when we haven't even got the appraisal. Maybe only 2 times in the past couple of years. I mean,
Yeah, I'm there. And was Michelle under? The one in she was sort of under.
yeah, but we got them to still come up on the deal. We got them to,
Negotiated from the side.
that's right.
But they have to put up money.
That's right.
Yeah.
Remember when I said, how do we get the contract that closes? What we did in that scenario is we said, okay, if the contract comes in X amount of dollars over the appraisal, it's $20,000, I think it was.
Mhm.
I believe, I just can't remember.
It might have been more.
It might have been more.
Yeah.
They agreed to pay $20,000 more than the appraisal, so we already removed that objection. So, understanding how to get that to close. Let's see, so arm's distance transaction. People are emotionally attached to their house and their stuff. I know I am, right? So,
Well, I was gonna say, I almost have an example there on Faulkner with a
Okay.
case, because this guy is now just, he put it out for rent, it's a commercial building, with some land on the backside, and just in the sense that he's the man just doing the showings and representing the seller. He shook a guy's hand the first time he saw someone, and now he feels obligated to stick through with this deal, and it's probably $1,000 under value per month on a commercial house. And he's, I can sense that he wants to almost be out of it, but his moral compass is keeping him in.
so that's a perfect third party story, right? So I would love to tell that story to a seller that's hesitant. And on a 3-year lease, that's worth about $36,000. That's a lot of money. So you can see right there that my value of 3% is already gonna make you extra money, because I would never let that happen to you. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna field the phone calls. I'm never gonna get emotional. I'm not gonna agree to a deal until we sign a contract. So that's a perfect third party story of how you can bring them back to the paint, not hiring them. Hold on one second. What's your background? I'm gonna ask them, are you accountant? They're gonna say they're a nurse. And then I'm gonna say, well, if I came into the ER, how well do you think I could do your job? I mean, this is not as easy as it looks. And I'm gonna bring them to the fact that they really don't know what they're doing. I'm gonna respectfully get them to acknowledge that. I'm not gonna say that to them, but I want them to feel like, wow, okay. I don't think they could do my job. What makes me think I can do theirs? And I might leave money on the table if I do it. Plus, I got these realtors beating down my door, got unqualified buyers. Are they a woman? If they're a woman, ask them this question. Are you gonna show the house by yourself?
No.
Is it gonna be it? Now, what if somebody wants to come over at 7:30 at night and the sun's going down?
No.
You know what I mean? You have a concealed weapons permit? I ask them that, I really do. I really do. And so, we have safety and protocol procedures. We put an MLS lockbox, so we know every time somebody comes and goes out of your property, everything's registered. We have licenses. So I really try to put them in the picture of the pain of what it's going to be if they don't list with me. All right. Okay, so I think that was a lot more than 6. I mean, there's hundreds that we could come up with that we could talk about. I really find it exhilarating to go to a listing appointment. I love the power,
Rush.
yeah, I do. It's fun. I come out of there feeling like, yeah, I just kicked some ass. Let's go. I'm ready. So adopt that attitude, adopt that power, that confidence, and it will just come through you. It'll go to them, and then they'll want to work with somebody that has that kind of influence. Yeah, that's it.
Be a lot of exciting work.
Yes.
Do there are any questions on it?
I love the warm-up exercise. It really puts you in the mood.
I have an objection.
Go ahead.
A lot of people just ask this
Sure.
nowadays, like, where would I move to next?
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a really good one. Oh, I understand. Listen, are you moving locally or out of state?
I just don't know yet. I think I'm gonna transfer job, but I might stay local.
You might stay local. You're in transfer jobs. Okay, have you thought about your mortgage before you do that?
No.
I got the best mortgage guy. Let's get you in touch with him. And the reason why I do that is because now we got 2 people working on this deal. I follow up him, he follows up with me, and we're both helping her. Another thing I would say is, I've done this a lot for people, and I know that can be stressful, right? Getting boxes, moving, closing day, new house, old house. I can negotiate this deal on the front side to help you find another house. I can keep you out of due diligence timeframes to blend that opportunity. I can let the other agent know what your goals are when we accept the deal. So that way it allows you to transfer to this other house. So the first thing we need to do is maybe look at your mortgage and try to understand where you want to go. And so in that deal, I'm not like closing the sale. What I'm doing is I'm building rapport because they're not ready to sell. And sometimes I might be a little soft on that, but I'm not super hard on that one. because they're not ready today. What would you do in that scenario?
I'd probably offer them like a 60-day contingency period.
Okay.
To make the home. And or sometimes I've seen up to like September to December, like these are like wide contingency periods and the contracts are getting accepted.
They are, yeah, we can negotiate those deals and really help them
Relax.
transition those good things. One of the things I say is, I was like, guys, this is a stressful process if you don't know what you're doing. I've done this hundreds of times over the time I've been in the real estate. What I want you to do is just let me carry all the stress. Just don't even worry about it. Just seriously, let me handle it. This is no big deal. I do this all the time. And so if you have any questions, just let me know. I'll take care of it. So don't worry your pretty little head about what's going to happen or how we're going to get through with it. And yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
So what do you do when it's an investment property that has tenants?
Okay, so give me an example.
Like the tenant, they don't want to be bothered at certain time, with showing,
Okay, so you already have the listing or you're about to get the listing?
no, I'm about to get.
Okay, so I'd say, Mr. Investor, right? I was like, you want to sell this house, and you have tenants in there, correct? But they don't, are they paying the rent?
Yes,
Are they paying the rent on time?
yes.
Okay, why do you want to sell?
I just wanted to cash out to buy another property.
Okay, are you gonna buy another property to cash flows more?
Yes,
Okay, so, so I'm not
a
understanding,
bigger one.
you want to buy a bigger one, okay? And so, do you have a relationship with this tenant?
No.
You don't, okay. So here in Orange County, I'm super good at the eviction process. I mean, I don't like the fact that I'm good at that, but it's just part of the job. It is part of the job, right? And our only recourse is eviction. So we can give them a 30-day notice. Now, in Orange County or state of Florida, you only have to give 15-day notice by chapter 475. But I think ethically, morally, 30 days is the minimum. I mean, it's so hard to find a tenant out here right now.
That's only if they love the
Right, I'm assuming they're month to month. Yeah, I didn't even ask that question.
like if there's a month left on the lease. so it's-
Yeah, it's about to expire, like it has like,
Okay,
like 4 months.
Yeah.
Before it expires. So
Okay.
they asked me to give at least 60 days. for them to close it.
right.
They need to consider.
All right, so I'd say, okay, let's go ahead and sign the listing agreement. And we're 4 months out. I'm gonna put a 60-day stop on it. And then on the 60th day, we can give them written notice to vacate the property. Can I see your lease? And then I'm gonna look at their lease, and in our lease, it says that we can give notice to show the property or walk through the property. I might advise them, though, that's not the best way to get the most for your money. Unless we're looking for an investor who would like the rental income. Now go through the exercise of understanding, is it market value? Can we increase the rent? Can we have that 5% increase? Stop now. So that's a tough one to work through, but I would just ask a lot of questions. I try to get something signed if you could. And if he doesn't want to sign something right now, I follow up with him every week. This, hey, Mr. Seller, what's going on? Hey, are you ready to go? Did you collect the rent? You'll find something to talk to him about. Because when William came on, I had just, my business was a mess. I was just on the hamster wheel all the time. And I mean, hundreds of thousands of dollars in commissions from sellers that sold with somebody else. Just because I didn't call them, just because I didn't follow up with them. The people I sold 2 houses, 3 houses, I knew them, they're my friends, like. Oh, I just didn't even think, Joseph, oh, somebody called me, you gotta keep up with them, stay in touch with them, and work that deal till they're ready.
I know you talked about this, the owners who like have this number in mind, that's what they want. But to add to that, they're the owners who also like are willing to wait however long it takes to get that number. What do you say to them to push them, to maybe encourage them nicely to sell quicker?
I would ask them what their need is. Why do you want to sell? I mean, so, because if you're not looking to sell, and my job is to sell your house, you hire me to sell your house, I'm gonna get it done in 90 days, 90 to 120 days, depending on the market. if you want to let it linger for 6 months, it's gonna get stale. I'm not in the business of working for free. I mean, respectfully, I know you go to work to get paid. Yeah, I do this for a living to feed my family. So there's listings I don't want to take either. If you're unrealistic, I don't think you can do it, you're an asshole. I don't want you to do it. Like, because I'm only working for paying clients. And you can talk to people like that. You really can. I mirror and match them so many times. If they're from New York, they want a driver. If you've got Granny who goes to church on Sunday, she wants somebody that she can, yeah, absolutely. You gotta be what they need. You gotta meet people at who they are and what their influence level is. So what works for this person may not work for that. And I think that's an important thing. So understanding why they want to move and where they're gonna go and what they're gonna do next is the key to influence them to sell in a reasonable time frame. So I would say, hey, listen, if you wanna, so how much overvalued would they be?
Some physicals are crazy, like $150,000
Yeah.
overvalue.
Okay, what I would do in that scenario is I would advise them to go with the agent that's gonna list it for $150,000 more. And said, I hope you get it, man. That'd be amazing for you and your family. I mean, I don't work in those, I can't realistically sell something for 50% more than value or 40% more than value. What I suggest is you go with this agent who's gonna go ahead and do that. And then would it be okay if I followed up with you in 6 months or 4 months? Take a 4-month listing agreement, see if they can do it. If they can't, then we can reevaluate that situation. Is that fair? And sometimes being the second or third agent on a deal is the best place to be. You don't want to be the first one out there if they're unrealistic expectations. I've sold a couple mountain properties before. No. I worked on selling one actually. It was in the Cashiers of Blue Mountain, and that guy went bankrupt. Okay, yeah, so beautiful, so beautiful. Oh man, it's really beautiful. A couple years ago, I went up to Tennessee with one of my other buyers, and we were looking at development opportunities. And there is a big saying up there. People that buy developments, you want to be the third developer in, because the other two have already gone broke and put in all the infrastructure for you, so you can make money, because mountains are super hard to develop. So sometimes being the second or third agent in there is the best place to be. Any other questions? Any other objections? Somebody's got to have one.
What about if I'm listing my home with you and then my neighbor across the street also has their home listed? Should I be priced out around their price, or can you tell me who's gonna sell first?
That's a good question. You know how big their house is?
2,000 square feet,
And yours is?
2,200.
Okay, so yours probably gonna be a little bit more. Do they have a pool?
No,
And you do?
I do.
Okay, so you're more there. How's you got a new roof, it looks like.
I don't know if you,
I mean, we're definitely gonna be selling yours for one. Yeah, I'm just gonna ask the right question and understand where they're at. And
but I have old plumbing. They have deep plumbing.
they have new plumbing. Do you have polybutylene or is
Yeah.
it copper?
What do you know about?
Yep. Polybutylene is gonna be an issue. It's gonna be hard to get insurance. I do have a contractor that can come and give you a quote. It's not a huge job, it's a couple day job, probably, $2,000-3,000. There's some people out there that are gonna charge you.
Good price.
That's so good.
Yeah. Yeah, I know a guy that will do that for that.
Really?
Yeah,
Well, for
Maybe
90.
I don't know.
I was gonna say, a lot of people are getting quotes out there for $10,000, but it's really only a 2-day job and only a couple $100 worth of. What did we get? What's her name for one before? Remember the old lady? She was over there in Rio Pinar.
Oh, I don't think that was involved,
But the thing is.
Yeah.
You actually know about it.
Oh, yeah, that's the guy. That was-
I don't know.
Yeah, I do that. It was like $4,000.
Okay.
Yeah, so I can help
Get that
quote.
done.
Yeah, you got a quote for $10,000. If you sign with me today, I'll go ahead and promise you that I'll call a bunch of different plumbers, get you the best quote, and make sure that the quality's, the job's done quality.
Where do I sign?
Right here. Right, yeah.
You were gonna mention about the penalty. Like,
Oh, yeah, that's right. So I put 1% of the list price. So if it's listed for $450,000. And I put the original list price. Yeah, $450,000, it's 4,500. I had to fall out with one of my sellers because of an attorney recently on my $9.8 million listing. And I know if I would have had a $1,000 listing, they would cancel and pay me $1,000. I have a 1% of the original list price, which is 9.8 million. Go ahead and pay me $90,000. I'll be happy to cancel this listing today.
What's your average listing time for residential?
What do you mean?
Like, how long do you normally list for?
6 months to a year, typically. I did lose a listing this year, and a guy that I thought I had a great relationship with, and out in Tampa.
Oh, yeah, that's like,
I put too long. I put a year on a commercial deal. And the reason being, it takes a little longer to get them under contract. You go through your attorney, they give you the contracts, you're back and forth. It could be a month, it could be 45 days from the time you get an LOI accepted, which is letter of intent. Usually we do the 1-pagers before we go to the 20-pager. Just, the general terms. But on a house in today's market, 6 months is what I'll do. Yeah.
1% on it, they cancel the deal early, they cancel the.
1% of the original list price is how I write it in there. Another trick that I use that not a lot of other people, I made this up myself, is I like to have a variable commission that I can offer. So on my offer of compensation, I put up to, the words up to 3% to a cooperating broker. That means if I want to offer 2 on the MLS, I can. If I want to offer 2.5, I can. If I want to offer 2.5 with a $5,000 bonus, I can. It does not say that I have to offer 3%. They want a discount, no problem. We get to the end of the deal. I've got 2.5 listed on the MLS, and we need an extra $5,000. I have an extra 0.5% that I can play with, and I can use that as leverage to make the deal go down. On our deal over here, on the one on Stedman, I think we had $180,000 worth of extra play. And that was about the value of the roof, because if it comes down to the very end and they say, hey, listen, we need $80,000, or, we're gonna have to do $200,000 roof, could you split it with us? And the owner says no. Well, shoot, I'm only paying the other agent 1%. I've got a 6% listing. I'm getting 5%. I can cut my commission to make the deal work. So, couple tricks, up to 3%. Nobody ever catches it, ever. And Vipin did. Vipin did. And if they do catch it, tell them the truth. I mean, I think the truth works. Say, hey, listen, what that does is allows me to offer bonuses. What that allows me does is save money to save the deal in the end if it's not going to work.
So on a listing, sorry, nobody has a question. Right?
That's okay.
I got questions today.
Let's do it.
So, let's say you go to the listing appointment, they don't sign right then and there. Do you have a template on an email that you send out to them? Like stating like what makes you different from somebody else?
We do really good listing packages. I mean, do we have one? Anyone? Okay.
So the reason,
Yeah, why don't you put one up on camera?
the reason I asked is because I know some physical people, like there's a lot of realtors hitting them up and they have an email that they get, and then like
No, I put it in there.
dotted line of like what they.
I put it in their hand. Because you send an email, I mean, how many emails do you get?
Yeah.
1,000. And then you're scrolling, you're gonna try to show it to somebody. No, I have a machine, you guys can use it. I make them a book. And it's full color, both sides, it's about 30 pages. Cost me about $15 each time.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
Really
Yeah, let's look. Okay, which one can we show? There we go. Oh, well, let's do a residential one. Did we do one for Fred? We did. We did. No, we didn't need one for Fred?
Yeah,
Okay, let's do another. Let's see if we can, here's one, listing residential presentation. Who's this one for?
this is,
Okay, let's just pull that up.
let me see.
Oh, you got a different one?
Yeah, which is another tab.
Well, that was, when you say a book, right?
Book.
Are we talking like binder?
We give them away.
The people want to
We
see
give
it.
them away.
The people want to see.
It's just a binder with a black thing.
It's just a
Okay.
foam binder with a clear.
Full on like.
You can do those at Staples, they cost about the same money. But I bought the machine myself and I have
Okay.
it myself, but you can do those as well.
Gotcha, gotcha.
And you can even bring your colored copies over to Staples, have them, put them in a bind. But you know what else? I don't like the binds because I can't. I can't open it up and leave it on the table like this, right? It doesn't stay.
That's a good feeling.
The binds really open it up and it's a big, nice color spread. and
Okay.
They're beautiful.
Yep.
And what happens is it stays on their coffee table, it stays on their kitchen counter, they show their wife, they're watching TV at night, they're flipping through it. They're not doing that with anything.
Right.
And it just doesn't look as impressive. Oh, yes, he's got $2,000 for you. Just go ahead and grab it from me if you could, please.
Do we want to ask what it's about?
It's a tenant. Okay, good. Do you have that presentation? So. It's the first of the month. You just come chasing down to pay me. I love it. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Oh, East Lake Mary Jane. Thank you. A receipt?
Yeah.
Yeah, can you wait just 2 minutes and I'll write a receipt?
All right.
Thank you. Okay, so usually we never use this picture. What we'll do is we'll get a picture of the house. William will go out there, somebody will go out there, we'll take it off Orange County Property Appraiser,
Sometimes.
Zillow, wherever we can get a picture and we put a picture of their house here.
It can be an old picture from the previous.
That's it,
Just to confirm, you always have this binder thing that you're doing.
always.
Okay.
But this is when you have the listing appointment secured.
Yes,
When they-
yeah, because I say, did any other agents work this hard to earn your business? And what I'm doing, Mr. Seller, is I've already got this ready to go for you. As soon as we sign today, we're gonna hit the market as quickly as we can, and I wanna show you that I'm the best man for the job. And I assume the sale, and I just talk with so much confidence.
It doesn't matter the value of the home.
No, it definitely doesn't. You know, most of the people, I don't really work in the 100, 200, and usually those people are investors for me. And so they have other business, so I really try to influence them. Okay, so just a little bit of me. Going,
This is
usually I put William and my agents on there too. Just this is some just regular stuff and your real estate needs attentively, utmost care, growth and accommodation, and highest professional standard.
That's one part. I don't think anybody else can see that.
Okay. How can we?
I can pull it out.
Okay.
Match it again.
Yeah. So key services, this is just fluff, it just looks nice,
Yeah.
and what you'll notice is that they're this way. Okay, go to the next one. Client testimonials, I always put those on there, and I usually give them something that they can call, go ahead. We usually have more than that. This is an old one, recent properties for sale. Now, what we'll do is we'll put ones that are most like the house that they have. So if it's commercial, we change it to commercial. These are the properties. We give an example of which ones they are. Keep going. Keep going. Some of my past sold properties, keep going. Keep going. Let me be your guide. I'm going to develop a pricing strategy. We're going to market it. We're going to implement it, and then I'm going to help you contract your closing. Keep going. Let me be your guide. I said that earlier. Let me take the stress off of you. Keep going. Why to price it appropriately? Keep going. CMA. Now we have another report. We don't put the CMA in this one. It's a separate report. And then I pull the CMA out and we go through that. And that takes 10 minutes. And it's usually 20 pages long. Okay, and this one, we're gonna give everybody today this and everybody on the call. If you put it in the chat, we'll send you this. A guy gave this to me years and years and years ago. It's proven so valuable. It is a spreadsheet. That's all it is. That's right.
Yeah, estimated next week.
Estimated net sheet. We're gonna put their sales price. This is a formula, that's a formula, the real estate fees. Record of satisfaction, transaction fee. I'm gonna ask them what their current mortgage balance is, and this is your net if you sell it for this. I'm telling you, they always have this question. We love this. So this is also something I put on transaction desk or dot loop. And That way, if we accept the purchase price, I can tell them exactly what their net is gonna be to the dollar. Okay? We put these on there and we just, put what the information was, because we know that they're gonna be looking at this stuff. Keep going. Developing a marketing strategy, going. Pictures, staging, pricing, brochures, and website. Every single one of my listing has a website. If you want to see one of my websites, you can go to 6470.info. It costs a couple dollars. It's no big deal. And when somebody calls me on the phone off my sign, they automatically get that website. So they get all the pictures, all the info, all my info. Keep going. Listing of a property, we're just, some of this stuff I don't even go through. This is just reading material for them. Some of these we don't use anymore. I don't even go over this. I just flip through it and talking with them. Examples of some of our marketing. Here's a custom sign, offering memorandums, yard signs, property websites. Again, keep going. Here's some of my links that I talked about just a minute ago. You can go visit any of those. Tyson.lar property still active, Stedman property, Portfield, I don't know where that one is. Staging. You don't have to worry about that. We talked about that a little bit earlier. And then the path to closing. It doesn't seem like these images are a big deal, but they are. People want to know that there's a path to the solution. That's it. They just want to know that they need to follow the leader. And it's a psychological thing. I think that's our last one. That's it. Contact details and some of our values. And so 27 pages.
Sure, people want to know, how long did your listing like in your conversation with them?
30 minutes to an hour. But again, you got to meet the people at their meeting. So anybody here understand the DISC profile?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if you don't know the DISC profile, that's another great training that I can provide. Understanding their personal profile allows you to understand how to approach them. If they're an accountant, you don't want to talk to them all day, right? Like an I who's high in influence. And someone that's a high I, they want to bond. They actually want to bond. They want to talk about their kids, their dog, their cat, their history. All they want to do is talk to you and be your friend, right? And once you've bonded with them, now they trust you. Now they can hire you. An accountant, they don't care. What they want to know is the numbers. What am I going to get? Make sure you got all the details, all the T's across and all the I's across. And so you need to approach that person. A driver or a D, they just want to cut to the chase. What's it going to cost? How are you going to do it? So understanding who you're in front of allows you to treat them in the way that's going to influence them the most.
Who makes this where you have a virtual assistant or this looks like it takes like a week to make.
But we have a template. And William can get it done in no time.
Also, you have a William.
Well, it took us a long time to set this up.
Yeah.
I mean,
And
And-
it's always upgrading a little bit.
I was just gonna say that. It's always getting updated. So we got about three. Now, when you're doing just a CMA. Oh, when we're doing just a CMA. It's a little different. I want to have that done in 10-15 minutes. I don't want to have that done right away. These, once you get the template down, I'll be happy to share something similar like that. I think William has something we can share. And we use Canva. There's, this job is not just buying and selling houses. You have to build a business. And it's not always easy, but once you get it set up, then you can put it on cruise control.
Do you mind sharing what do you use for the website? Like, because
What do we use for?
We have like a CRM system that has websites implemented into the system.
okay,
I can pull one up.
We've used a bunch of different ones over the years.
and then that phone number they use is not your phone number. How does that mess with your SEO? Because if you don't have your phone number, like,
I don't ever want people to call my number. They call all of our other numbers because they're recorded and they're documented.
Yeah, you can try calling them maybe.
Yeah.
Probability sign.
Yeah,
Wanna try to see how it works.
go ahead.
Someone else has to do it. Wait, third, do you wanna try calling?
You want to call the number?
I think if he does it better, because then it's like a new person, we might be registered.
what's the
Hey,
phone number?
Joseph, I have an objection.
321-800,
Do what?
321-800-7200.
Okay, put it on speaker. Okay, I got an inbound call already. It's already telling me you're calling.
Does it tell you the name?
No. Hold on, that's gonna work.
That's my voice there.
How come the answer machine didn't, the answering service,
Yeah, they're 24/7.
they're 24/7.
Yeah, I don't know.
Try a different one, try a different number.
Yeah.
That's a bad example. Try another number.
321-800-3114.
It did tell me you called. I don't know why the answering service didn't pick that up.
Oh,
Okay, we're
that
0 for
might be the
2.
wrong number.
Okay, yeah.
You know what? I think it went to me. I think you might be registered in our system already. I don't know if you called their office number.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Anyway, the question I have is like, if it's not your direct number, like, I don't want anybody questioning, is this really the guy, you know?
right.
So how do you get around that? I mean, you probably had it for years now, right?
No, these are numbers these are Google numbers, and it's a dedicated number for that listing. So
Oh,
when some,
really?
yeah, so when somebody calls my Dakota Drive sign, I see that it's Dakota Drive. This one didn't come up like that. That one came up just,
Wait a second, so you have to change your sign every time you have a listing?
It's a different number for every list.
yes,
Right,
So, if you get a new listing,
Okay.
it's a new number.
I get it, but you have to
this
change
one's
it.
not working right here, right?
Yeah, it's already registered.
Is this number working?
Yeah.
It should be connected.
It should be somebody dial that number
It
if I
might be
could.
connected to something.
Everybody, that right now.
No, just one. It's one person dial that number.
No service.
And so anyways, we have, I don't know, maybe 10 numbers. Let's see if it goes through.
It's calling my phone on that one.
Okay,
Yeah,
go ahead.
but yeah, you're also she's in our system too. I see Genesis. Yeah, I see your name, right? Genesis Davina.
Okay,
You must
so
stop calling our office number.
so we have signs and we only have about a rotation of 10 of them.
Okay,
And when we get a new listing, it gets assigned to that listing.
okay,
And then so William takes that number and then attaches our website to it. They call Answer First answers. There's a Zapier in place and all the information goes to our CRM. And then soon as the Answer First service gives our all the data, they ring us, and then they transfer me.
so it's not that you throw away that number, you recycle the number.
That's right.
Yeah, you
Got
can
it.
keep
That makes
it.
more sense.
Yeah.
Wait a second.
Yeah, we don't get a new number.
Gotcha.
We just reuse the old numbers.
Okay, that makes more sense.
And that's why some of the signs they don't have specific info on it.
Got it.
To the property.
Yeah.
Unless you want to throw
I
away
think
the
it's like
sign.
completely get numbers out.
No.
No, the numbers stay about the same.
And nobody ever questions it, ever.
Okay.
And I'll tell them, if they ask me, hey, Joseph, this is not your cell phone. I was like, yeah, I mean, there's so many calls coming in, I can't keep track of them all. That-
Number dedicated to the property.
That's
Well,
right.
the thing is that's some inbound numbers and then we have the same number for outbound. So if there is someone that's been registered before, we're always calling them from the same outbound, like office number. And if it comes down to working with them as a client, often we just use ourselves like personal phones anyways.
And on the listing, you use the number associated to that property, I assume.
Yes,
Then the main reason why there's a difference number is because when they call that number, it's recognizable in our system. And then automatically it gets tagged under that specific listing. So if I want to go back and look at all of the people that call those specific listing, got them right there.
You get like realtors calling you that number.
sometimes,
No, we're
no, it's not too much, but sometimes.
But in our answering service, we have them ask, I think the second question after full names is, are you working with an agent or are you an agent? And if they say yes, we know that they're an agent, they get the tag that those people are an agent, and we patch the call immediately. If not, we ask them for their email, if they're pre-approved, and I don't know if it's time frame, there's one more question in there, but just to qualify them on the phone with our answering service.
And you do this with residential and commercial?
Every single listing. Yeah, that's why I have thousands of leads. You know what I mean? Because I never miss a sign call. Never miss a sign call. So,
Oh, yeah, the last step is, are you working with a broker already? So it's nice before you're entering into the call, you have the full name, their email, if they're pre-approved or if they're a cash buyer and if they're working with a broker already. That's it. So that really helps.
anything else? Anybody got anything else?
Joseph,
You guys find value from this?
Yeah.
no,
Okay, what was the most valuable thing that you heard today? Let's just go around the room.
How to go around everything.
Okay,
Your leasing presentation.
okay,
It's just talk about it.
thank you, thank you.
So,
It really brings more value than anybody on the very front side. And you leave it with them and it's on their coffee table and this is what I'm gonna do for you. Okay, thank you.
Up to 30% allowance.
Yes, that's a good one. That was so good. That was so good. The up to. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm still getting paid. I'm still getting paid. Yes.
When you said that I will do all work with it. So when you sell this connection and then you let them know that they will be taken care of.
That's right. Okay, good. Thank you. The 1%.
I love, the connection that you make, like the platinum rule that you apply with them to the street and then with the one.
Okay, yes.
I like when, there was an experienced agent that went there, you called them right then and there, and they didn't pick up. I mean, it's a chance, but still, I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I won that listing like that. Yeah, because they were a mega agent team. They had tons of listings. And I know how they work. And once they get the listing, you know, their team handles it. You're not even working with the same person all the time. So, you know. All right, Rodrigo, how about you? Did you?
I love the way you dress.
Okay. That's so
I have
funny.
a question.
All right, are there any? William, you wanna, what do we, how do we? Oh, they have one. You have one? Jasmine, you have a question?
Hi, is
Can we-
is the
can we
speaker on?
hear
I
her?
can't hear you.
Yeah, if she unmutes it herself, I
Can you unmute Jasmine?
Yeah, I'm unmuted.
guess your computer. I can't hear her.
Okay. Well, thank you guys for joining. We're having technical difficulties. Um,
Okay, now we can hear
there
you.
we can hear you.
Hey, sorry, I've been yelling from over here. I'm like, Joseph, Joseph. I do have an objection. The last two listing appointments I did go on. You know, of course, sellers want the highest. And right now I'm having the difficulty or the objection of other agents coming in saying, oh, I could get you this amount, and it's not a realistic amount. Do you have any type of objection, you know, or something, a rebuttal for me to tell these sellers, hey, look, I understand that other agents saying this amount, but you know, this is what the market value is. Of course, I want the highest, but I have to be realistic.
I think I went through that one a little earlier. I think I'm not a magician, so I can only really get people, you know, up to about 10% higher than what I think it would appraise for. You know, in some rare cases, we can get more if there's a bidding war. Also, if you can get the listing and maybe bring it down or have an opportunity to bring it down to let the market show what it is. But realistically, if they're not willing to be, you know, on this planet with the pricing, I would advise them to list with another agent if you don't think you can get it done. And
Cool, yeah, and honesty goes a long way because I just want the relationship. So they call me saying this agent lied to me, and then I could come in and kind of say, hey, look, I know I told you so. Now what I'll do is I'll charge, you know, less a commission or figure out a way of getting them closer to the number they want to be.
yeah, so sometimes it's okay to be the second agent on the deal. I
Yeah,
think a third party story about mountain properties where you want to be the second or third developer on the purchase of a development because the first two went bankrupt. And if an agent's going to take something $50,000 over value in a cooling market, you're going to do a whole bunch of work and not get paid.
yeah, And I appreciate that because I'm actually going through that right now with the listing of mine.
Yeah, okay. Well, thanks for your question.
Thanks, Joseph. Thanks for the presentation. Sorry I made it late, but I
No
appreciate it.
worries. All right, you guys, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.
Thank y'all.
Bye.
guys.